Want to welcome in Marcos Baugh of Urban Golf Club to the podcast. Marcos, thanks for joining. We've been DMing a bunch over the years, and I'm glad to finally get you on here.
Yeah, for sure, Sean. No, this is a great opportunity. I mean, you guys have really made a impact in mass golf and things like that. Your page has really kind of blown up in the last year or 2, 3 years, and it's cool to be on here.
Yeah, well, thanks, and we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. You know, you've been busy with getting kids into the game of golf, and I think that's naturally for me the place just to let you kind of talk about what Urban Golf Club is.
Yep.
And from there, we can talk about kind of your experiences doing it, challenges, highlights, how people can support you, and your experience playing and caddying and all sorts of stuff. This is gonna be great. So everyone should buckle up. And but we'll start with, what is Urban Golf Club? What's your elevator pitch?
So I, in one sentence, I teach inner city kids golf and financial literacy around Boston. Working with the Boys and Girls Clubs, doing indoor lessons in the winter. So it's a year-long thing. I don't, because of course you can't play golf year-round in Boston by any means. But, being indoors, and kind of integrating little things that, they're used to. So, as an introductory, I would, have a couple of mats set up at one end of a basketball court in the gym, using foam golf balls, and then, they would hit the ball and then let's say run after, let's say a basketball at half court and make a layup and come back and do it again, right? They'll do that for 30, 45 minutes straight without me really to say anything. And then, slowly but surely, I say, okay, now the best swing gets on offense and the worst swing gets on defense type of thing. And then, eventually I take the basketball away. And if they miss a golf shot, or even not a golf shot, if they absolutely whiff it, they need to get down and give me pushups. So I definitely make it interactive. Slowly but surely I take away the basketball, and then even have them do hurdles or whatever it may be. I even make them do more pushups, whatever it may be. So that's so the Boys and Girls Club on Blue Hill Ave, Talbot Avenue in Dorchester. Do about 45 minutes of golf with them, and then the next, I have it about an hour and a half with them. So the next 45 minutes, I either, feed them, and then actually we're in the middle of starting our lemonade stand.
I saw that.
Yeah. So we're gonna have a lemonade stand and set up shop for an hour and a half at Franklin Park in the first couple of weeks of June, and that'll be fun. Just making sure they understand, golf, has its own stigma of being a rich man sport. And I was having a conversation with a great guy I end up caddying for. I caddy. There's another aspect of financial literacy. I'll get into that right next. I was saying, golf is a rich man sport, has that stigma. So why wouldn't I teach a kid how to, create their own wealth in the meantime, right? And, of course, I get them caddying. So I have 2 kids right now that are caddying at the country club in Brookline. I had one, he started last year, and I had another one of his friends. I brought him in this year. And, I grew up kind of my genesis of, my golf journey. My mom wanted us to try everything. I try every sport in the book, and golf stuck with me. And I went through high school playing golf in high school, and caddying. I started caddying in high school at the country club in 2009. So I kind of saw that place kind of change a lot, through the amateur and up to the US Open. And we had a nice little involvement with the US Open where, we got about 10 or 15 kids out there for a Monday practice round to hang out, and tried to get some guys to shake hands with the kids. And we got Patrick Reed to, kind of say hi, which, some people were a little bit surprised about. But, he seemed like a pretty cool guy to do that. And we actually they did a segment that aired. We did a segment on the Golf Channel that aired that Sunday morning about, my organization and what we're doing. So that was a good amount of exposure, and was a recipient of the kind of charity work that they did throughout that week. And, it was a good, definitely good launching point for Urban Golf Club, that 2022 US Open. And it was really cool.
When you say you saw, 2009, you started the country club. What did you you mentioned the USAM, which was there in 2013, right?
Yeah, I actually wasn't there that year, but yeah, I remember it still. I actually I caddied a little bit right after that.
What did you notice that changed? You kind of said the club changed a little bit, or just
So just in terms of like, I saw them regrass everything. You know what I mean? Like I saw them take bunkers apart and build them back together from scratch. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I saw Gil Hand surveying the place on a few occasions. You know, everybody was really, you know, excited because I remember when they first started talking about it, like the year after the amateur, they were like, "Yeah, the U.S. Open's next." You know, this was like I said, it was like 2014. Hearing this, and I was like, "Really?" And then, you know, it came so quick. Uh, but 2022, getting ready for that, it was just a great time to be around. You know.
yeah, for sure. So how many, like right now, how many kids do you have in the program?
So I have about 6, 7 that I consistently meet with once a week. But as far as you know, the Boys and Girls Club, you know, I have like 15 kids that are trying to start this little lemonade stand. Really got involved. And another community center called Vine Street Community Center in Roxbury, which I kind of like started off, you know, in my early days of doing urban golf club, and we continued that relationship, and we have like 3 or 4 or 5 kids that, you know, I kind of give them some pizza. They kind of get them, you know, after we do the little our little relay races and practicing the swing and things like that, you know, give them some pizza. And then we talk about, you know, they're like 13 and up, 14 and up, and we talk a little bit about, you know, how to save money or what it may be, just like as a casual, you know, sit down and eat and talk type of thing. And then but next, I think, yeah, it's every Wednesday at that community center in Roxbury, and we'll be giving out like little flashcards that they can yeah, I have like a bunch of like financial literacy flashcards and a PowerPoint for financial literacy that I get them, you know, familiar with, because, you know, it's just, I just thought it was, you know, just the perfect combination in my view, right, in a lot
Yeah,
of ways.
yeah. Especially like I'm sure, like you said earlier, just the like golf and money from really anyone's perspective, but especially people on the outside of the game. Like those two things are so intertwined,
Yep, yep.
whether it's just like getting golf clubs or having access to play a place. So you've taken those kind of two things and you're like, I'm going to teach these kids how to maybe make some money. Like you can
Yeah,
caddy
yeah,
and then how to
exactly.
handle the little bit
Yeah,
of
don't
money that they
spend
make.
your money on stupid stuff. It's just like or even like, you know, just eating out. I even tell, even in a part of my slides, like learn how to cook for yourself. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I tell the kids, hey, like you have enough Jordans, right? You have enough Jordans, so but I'll get you. Don't worry about it. I'll get you some like golf shoes. I'll get you some Jordan golf shoes instead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So definitely get my, you know, we'll go, you know, to the, you know, we'll go to the Goodwill to get some shorts and polos, but I'll get you some Jordan golf shoes.
Talk about the lemonade stand. How does that like kind of a classic summer activity, and
Exactly.
you kind of hooked or trying to use it as a way to also just get kids, it sounds like, to the golf course.
Yeah, 100%. Um, so, so for the, let's say 13, 14 and up, get them introduced to caddying, but these kids are like 10, 11, 12, 13 kind of, or not, I don't even think 13, but so I thought the lemonade stand would just be a better, you know, a lot more engaging, or even something that's even just possible for them to do, because they can't caddy.
Yeah.
Um, Not yet. I'm playing with the idea of 4 caddies and stuff like that for younger kids. I think that would be cool. But as far as the lemonade stand, so I have an assistant. Isn't that amazing? So I have this nice lady assistant that, you know, kind of has her own expertise in buying and selling. She's a realtor. So she kind of came in and kind of, you know, prettied up like the process of kind of put things in order. Like in my head, it's going at 1,000 miles an hour. So she's really good at typing, right? Because I'm not, and she could just type everything down, which is really cool, and put it into Chat GPT
Yeah.
and make it nice. So she's been helping me kind of like with the structure of the lemonade stand. Well, how we're gonna teach the kids, logo. We're gonna do like little logo recognition, like what is marketing, what is, like how are we gonna price everything and things like that.
Sourcing, probably, right? Like where are you gonna get your lemonade from?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
exactly. We yesterday I was with them and they all have phones. I was like, you have a phone or iPad, go onto the Stop and Shop website right now and let's
Yeah.
look stuff up. And then so we're making that happen. Yeah, so we did kind of a little bit of the pricing yesterday, which is cool. I didn't have my assistant yesterday, but she said sorry, so it's okay. But yeah, so we're gonna set up shop at Franklin Park, like in the like most congested area between like 7,
Yeah.
11, and 18.
18.
So we're gonna set up shop there. I already talked to the people. I think Maggie's Grill. That's they kind of run the food and drink for the course. So we talked to them. That's okay. And yeah, so I think like I said, the first couple of weeks of June, if not the first week of June, we're gonna be out there and kind of, we're gonna. They're a loud bunch of kids. So we got to make sure they're, modern, some type of moderate that a little bit. But yeah.
Are they all working on one stand, or is it like little groups that are doing their own stands that'll be there different times of the?
So I mean, it's gonna be like 10, 15 kids with one stand.
Yeah, small business.
Yeah, exactly. They already asked if they could keep the money. It's like, no, you can't keep the money. So, but we're gonna definitely do a nice little party or something like that for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, everything was one menu, 10, 15 kids, and we're gonna do like an assortment of fruit and candy.
Yeah.
Fruit, candy, and lemonade, pretty much.
Yeah. You have a captive audience. I'll tell you, like, you're going to get people buying lemonade, walking past there.
We're going to do real lemonade, too. We're not going to, the kids want to do, like, can we just get the mix? And I'm like, no, we're not going to get the mix. You guys are going to press. You guys are going to squeeze lemon.
Oh, they're squeezing lemons?
Oh, they're going to squeeze some lemons, yeah.
That's awesome.
Even yesterday when I told them to write down, like the menu and the prices, like, yeah, you guys are going to use, can I just put it in my notes on my, no, you can't put it in your notes. You're going to get some piece of paper and a pencil and write this stuff down because you guys are insane. But yeah.
That's great. I know you're a child of educators, so it feels like some of this is in your blood. I was a teacher for 13 years, so listening to you talk about wrangling kids and projects and all that stuff, it is
my dad was
it is super hard.
Yeah, I mean, my dad was a gym teacher for 30 years. And, that's as chaotic as it gets.
Yes, yes.
And my mom, she was a guidance counselor, so she kind of had to put some kids into, structure a lot of kids, kind of get them on the right track in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
It's definitely in the blood for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, so I guess people should keep their eye out for the lemonade stand if you're playing Franklin Park, like
exactly.
in a month.
Make a little announcement. Yeah, we'll make a little announcement on Instagram or something like that. But definitely it's gonna be eye catching regardless.
Yeah, that's very cool. What was the kind of like seed idea, the inspiration for this? I mean, I know you've got your mission
for Urban Golf Club itself.
For Urban Golf Club, just in general, like where did this idea come from? When and where and how?
So, like I said, just my mom introduced me. I have two brothers, one older, one younger, and an older sister. I'm the one who, kind of picked up golf, but just kind of like, I went to school for business. I went to Fitchburg State, went to school for business. My second year, my sophomore year, I was like, okay, I guess I got to start a business. I figured, right? And then I was like, okay, I've been doing little volunteer work with the First Tee and things like that since I was in high school.
Yeah.
So I figured, okay, I think I could do this better than the First Tee, really. And, it just kind of like thought about it like, okay, what, there's no reason why there's no kids from the neighborhood playing at Franklin Park. You know what I mean? And, of course, the stigma itself of golf being expensive, I just never really bought into that. I don't believe it, especially when these kids are better dressed than I am.
Yeah.
So, just a matter of prioritizing, something new.
Yeah.
shoes wither away in 5 years. You know what I mean? Golf clubs, I have 30-year-old, 40, 50-year-old golf clubs in my basement right now.
Yep.
So it's just like, it's just an investment, and I don't even push it like it's like, okay, you could go to college for this, you could get scholarship for college. Like, I don't really push that. I tell them, hey, you want to get a scholarship for college? You better start hitting 300 golf balls a day now.
Right, yeah. You're already behind if you're 12.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's just more of like, using golf is more of a tool, like a socioeconomic tool in a lot of ways. And just getting, people that play at Franklin Park could also, you could bump into a Fortune 500 company owner at Franklin Park, or you can walk and, bump into a financier from Back Bay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like the access of, as many opportunities as you can think of is all on the golf course. Even, meeting like celebrities and things like that. My little brother played football all his life, and I've met more NFL players than he has.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone plays golf, especially now. I mean, yeah.
100%. And so it's just like, this is like a sport. It is a sport for everyone. And it's just like, it's just, I think it's just a priceless tool to kind of have in your back pocket. Even if you are, not the best golfer or anything like that. Like, you don't need to be. I tell the kids all the time, like, you don't need to be a good golfer. All you got to do is be, I guess, relatively fast, right?
Yep.
Just like, you're going to suck quickly, right?
Yep.
But even just being a cool person to be around at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Being a good person to be around, and, if you're going to play. If you're going to suck quickly, right?
Yeah, right.
And that's really it. And the kids really like honed in on it. And I have a couple kids that actually have some decent swings, and just trying to get them to break 100. We'll see what happens after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're even kind of part of that story that you're telling those kids, because from what I've read, part of like the boost that you got was as a caddy at the country club, just talking to members about this idea that you had, and suddenly having support from
it
was
almost instant in a lot of ways too.
Yeah. Talk about kind of getting kids from like joining your program. Now you've got them at the country club caddying.
Right.
Yeah, that's an amazing opportunity for anybody.
So with the thing with me, I already set my kind of foundation with the country club, right? I have a 10+ year, 15-year, like kind of like record there. And, I don't caddy there full time anymore. Not because of anything, obviously, but I'm 15 years is a long time, first of all.
Yes.
And Boston Golf Club is a beautiful place. So I've been there this last summer and this summer. I've been caddying there, and a lot of support so far from Boston Golf Club too, in little ways here and there.
That's a hard walk with 2 bags on your back.
Yeah, it is. Well, the thing is, the country club, I tell people all the time, even the members at Boston Golf, it's like the country club pretty much prepped me to caddy anywhere in the world. So it's just like, it's just another walk in the park. It's just nicer. It is a nicer park. I would say like the Boston Golf Club is nicer. It's a prettier place than the country club. Well, and I can say that just because I've grown. I'm kind of I'm spoiled. You know what I mean? Like, I grew up. I've been playing at the country club since I was 15.
Yeah, those Mondays. Those
exactly. I tell people. Sometimes I get a little bored. But I mean, at the end of the day, the country club just put me on my feet, in every single way. I'll always have that connection.
Yeah, and so now you've got 2 kids who are there through Urban Golf Club.
Exactly. Like, I made sure if I'm leaving, there's gonna be somebody replacing me. So those kids are pretty much like my proxies.
Yeah, so they're high schoolers.
Yes, they go to Boston. Yeah, they go to Boston Prep.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's very cool. And like you said, then you start to, like, you're probably starting to now feel the rhythm and the cycle of, like you just said, well, I'm leaving, so someone comes, and then in a couple of years, like those kids move on and you start to create like an institution at the country club, and maybe that grows to other places as well. I mean, and you end up with kids caddying in some different spots around the city.
That's the idea. So that's the idea. So I'm gonna make sure, you can't just flood the country club with kids. It's very competitive over there too. It's very competitive program. And I make sure they know that, because I tell them like, hey, you're gonna ride the pine. Like, you're gonna have to sit down and shut up for a couple of weeks, maybe, potentially.
Yeah.
Right. But eventually you'll break through, because it's all about, it's all about patience out there.
Yes.
And I've done a lot of hours at the country club, a lot of hours. So, I'm glad I can, just give them that expectation, set them, have high expectations, but, in the beginning, just set them to where you need to like kind of pay your dues a little bit.
Yeah. I was a caddy. I caddied at the country club for half a summer after my freshman year in college. I had another summer camp job and I just had like 6 weeks to make a little bit of money. I was like, I'm going to go caddy. I'm going to play Mondays. This is going to be great. Exactly. And man, it is so hard to get a loop when you're new exactly. I'm sure at most courses, but my only experience was I felt the same way. You'd show up, you're like bright-eyed, you're like, I'm going to get out today, and you wouldn't get out, or you'd sit around for 4 hours before they called your name, and then suddenly it's like a 10-hour day. And you're like, oh man, I guess this is harder than in my mind I pictured it being. Yeah.
And there's, in the last couple of years, like they've made it a lot better with little apps. You ever heard of the Club Up app?
No.
Yeah, so there's an app that's really being used at places like the Country Club and Boston Golf Club. It's an app to kind of like schedule caddies and things like that. So caddy masters, familiar with this app that really kind of makes things more organized. And the Country Club is kind of like a little bit half and half, maybe 60-40 on the Club app, and the other, because there's a lot of little like day of, last second play. So yeah, the Club Up app has definitely kind of made things a little bit easier at the country clubs in terms of like waiting.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that there's technology out there that's coming through, making caddying a little bit less
Yeah, right. Less waiting. Right. You can kind of show up and know when your shift starts.
For sure.
Like any other job. What kind of challenges do you face kind of doing this? I'm thinking about like providing golf clubs for kids. You mentioned going to Goodwill and getting some golf clothes or something that gives them a kind of like, fitting in a little bit so they're in attire. So like maybe those are two challenges. What are some other things that you run up against?
Well, I say this next one, half of it is just my fault. Funding can be a little better on my part in terms of like me really like hammering the LinkedIns and things like that.
Yeah.
But funding and I would say it's a cultural, really, like, in a lot of ways. Convincing a kid that golf is better than basketball is not the easiest thing, right? Mm-hmm. But I tell these kids all the time, like, hey, basketball's played out, and basketball kind of sucks. Like, just to trigger them. Just to trigger them sometimes. And they know it too, because they, all these kids are little trolls sometimes. And so it's just kind of like needling at them, like kind of to tell them like, hey, if I ask like, let's say a group of 15, I say, what do you think the money's at? Where's the money? Like, is it on the basketball court or is it on the golf course? And, of course you'll get your kids that just be like, oh, basketball, blah, 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 just because. But they know,
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, that's what I kind of lead with that too. Like, hey, I'm going to teach you how to golf, but at the same time, I'm going to teach you guys how to, make some money and learn how to not spend it too. So for the kids that do, they're the ones that are, they're the ones that are going to benefit. And it's good on me too, because I'm a one-man army. If I had 15 kids, if I go in a group of 15 kids and all 15 want to be caddies automatically, then I'm like, okay, I'm kind of, all right, I'm a little bit over my head here. So I don't mind to like, maybe let's say 1 out of every 30 or one out of every like 20 or 30 kids that'll want to play golf. That's fine on me because that's
Yeah,
just,
right.
you know,
It's the right size right now. Yeah.
for sure. And you know, eventually once, you know, things get more popular, and of course I'm gonna we're really working on, well, I'm gonna be starting working on like getting interns from like colleges and things like that to
Yeah.
kind of like go around to different places for me. You know, one golf guy and one, like, let's say financial literacy person.
Yeah.
Like, to kind of like, you know, get them involved, you know, try to figure out a way where they can get credits for it and things like that. You know, because, you know, I have good connections with, like I said, obviously the country club is Harvard's home course.
Yeah.
So I feel like it won't be the most difficult thing to get people on board.
Yeah. What are some like stories, anecdotes, just like highlights from working with these kids, whether it's a golf success story or like a kid that you have taken in and you've seen this really impact how their adolescence has gone?
Yeah, so it definitely gives them an incentive to kind of like not mess up in school or anything like that. The first time, actually, it's funny. The first time I brought a kid to play the Primrose, the extra 9 at the country club, he chipped in for par. That was fun. um, that was pretty cool. But little things like, a great place that we use is Golf Lounge 18.
Okay.
Heard of it?
No, I think
It's
I've heard of it, but I don't know where it is.
Yeah, so it's in the Braintree Mall. It's like 14 bays in the
Okay.
Braintree Mall, and yeah, simulators. So, you know, we bring kids over there. We got a membership this year, and we do lessons and stuff every month over there, which is really cool. Just to get them, you know, keep them loose. We do that all throughout the winter, and even and when it gets nice out, we're still going to use that space for, you know, kind of like evening practice and little lessons like that. I get kids in the idea of like, you know, you need a bank account. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, the first time, let's say one of the kids caddied for me, you know, I would write him a check.
Yep.
Like, hey, the only way you can get this if we put in a bank account.
Yep.
So make the bank account. Either give it to their parents or just write to them. And, you know, I did that to a kid that's starting up this year too. And, you know, it's just a matter of, you know, staying on top of them too. You know, it's really about making sure the parents are like on board.
Yeah.
You know, of course, I can't do anything without the parents, and if the parents are on board, like, it makes my life a lot easier. So I have like
Yep.
I have like a couple group chats with parents and things like that, for updates and things. But these kids, you know, I wish I had somebody like me, because my their swings are better than mine, in a lot of ways. Because I just tell them I just tell them what not to do. Like, this, don't do what because I'm trying to break like 15-year habits here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, from my golf thing, you know, I play to about a 10. I think on the gin, if I reopen my gin, I'm like a 9.9 or something.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's just really cool to see these kids' swings progress and how much they really like practicing and things like that. Um, and especially them, like, you know, being able to play at, you know, one of the nicest golf courses, or even the most prestigious golf courses in the world, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that being their first experience
Introduction.
is playing at the country club, caddying for me, you know, just to get an idea of what it feels like at the country club, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, they're spoiled ass kids in terms of the golf.
And I mean, even like you mentioned Franklin Park, just the fact that that golf course designed by Donald Ross is just sitting in the middle of their neighborhood. And I think I've seen quotes from you where you're like, they don't even know it's a golf course. There's a lot of kids just, and they don't realize that there's a golf course out there.
100%.
I mean, that's an amazing place. That I love that place. I just think
yes, they're and George Wright. It's just, you know, it's just like really destinations. Really, they're really like they're like turning into like real premier like institutions. Really.
Yeah.
And another place that's a premier institution. I think you know where I'm getting at.
Yeah, let's do it.
The great Ponkapoag golf course.
Yeah.
Where I grew up playing, and
yeah.
like what's it called? Unconditional love for that place.
Yeah. You're a defender. You're a defender of Ponkapoag.
A staunch like advocate. No Ponkapoag slander in this country. But no, bringing kids there all the time, and that's 500 acres of land of just golf.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what else can you ask for? And if the state was smart, they would really just raise the price to $50 a round and pretty that place up as soon
a little
as
bit. Yeah, and it doesn't. We've DM'd about this. This was kind of like, it doesn't even need like that much prettying up. It just needs puttable greens. It just needs like places that you could putt on.
Because they have a new superintendent in the last 3 years.
Yeah,
that's actually cutting down trees and kind of using the landscape to kind of like make rock. Like they have like little rock like barriers and things like that, using the the golf course for itself and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's as good as it can be, and right now it's early spring
and it's raining.
Yeah, exactly. Early spring is great. You know what I mean? For Ponkapoag golf, late fall is great, or even just like right after. Not even late fall, just like early fall too. Is great to be over there. It's been a great resource for the kids. I brought a bunch of organizations over there just to kind of introduce them to a golf course in general. So that place is kind of like the best resource I have for sure.
Yeah,
it's definitely like a orders for sure.
It's 36 holes with a range and like a good enough size putting green, and like I do think part of its charm is the fact that it is approachable, right? Like it's a place that you can take a group of kids and not you're introducing them to something like this is a legit golf course. It could be like a little bit nicer. Maybe that's the next step, is like attaining, we'll go to George Wright next, but it is just thinking about, like you said, the value of that land as far as like a golf course and how close it is to the city and how much space they have and how good the golf could be.
Well, the kids go crazy. The kids run free, and
yeah.
There'll be sometimes I'll have like 10, 15, 20 kids just running down a fairway.
Yeah.
Like, let's say on the second course, not so much on the first course.
Yeah.
It would be, just like I said, it's the perfect place to introduce golf to anybody.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a good reason why they don't like make it nice right away, is because of how kind of accessible it is. Because if you do kind of make it nicer, it will kind of close it up a little bit. So as it is, it's just like just keep 9 holes crappy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like I said already, but I just wish, I think I played it in 2020 when I started my quest. It was like the 3rd and the 6th golf course, and the greens it was actually this was just after COVID, or in the middle of COVID, when the courses reopened, and like I'd never been there before. I was like, this is pretty good. Number 2 was in rough shape. Number 1, I could putt the greens, and then I went back a couple years ago in November, granted, and I was like, whoa, this is taking a little bit of a turn, which is too bad.
Yeah. Everybody knows its potential at the end of the day, you know?
Yeah.
And funny, I was really like early on it. Like I brought, Brendan Walsh from the country club?
Yes, yeah. The pro, Walsh, the director of golf, yeah.
Head pro at the country club. I actually created a composite layout.
Yeah, you sent it to me.
I did send it to you.
Yeah, you just like the back of the scorecard, you just circled like here's what the 18 would look like if you took the 2 courses.
Yeah, exactly. This was 2015. I made a composite layout, and that was the same year where they kind of reopened that 18 holes.
Yeah,
they reopened the first course.
Yeah,
and before it even got touched, I had the opportunity to bring Brendan Walsh out to Ponkapoag and see the place before it opened.
Yeah.
and he liked it a lot. He really liked it because of course it's a hidden gem. Everybody knows it.
Buried gem.
It's a buried gem. I would say buried gem, 100%. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, U.S. Open, USGA tinkered with, maybe having it there after.
Right now, if they would have used my layout. It's not even a joke.
Yeah,
like my layout is absolutely perfect. That's just me being. Of course, I'm biased, but
I'll dig up the picture and I'll add it to the YouTube video, and people can check out what you have, because I did look through. It's like, oh, this is pretty good, because I think that was part of the problem that I read from the USGA was like there's like 16, maybe 15 good holes out here, but they were like, we can't find the other 3. We can't find also funding and the other machinations of it.
So it's funny because what I did, I combined 2 par 4. No, I combined 2 par 4s and made it into like. Well, I combined 4 par 4s to make 2 par 5s out of it.
Yeah, you kind of did what they do at the Primrose with
exactly
13 and 1, right, or whatever those.
And I made the routing work. So
yeah.
So yeah, please, I would love for you.
I will share it. It's somewhere in messages we've exchanged. So okay, before we get to your kind of 5 rounds of Massachusetts, I gave you homework like I give all my guests. I think you are in this position where this term "grow the game" is like thrown out all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
You seem like, it feels like your idea is like any golf is good golf. Golf is golf. I want kids in the inner city to experience the game. I want them to kind of learn a bunch of different things from the game. Like, the term drives me nuts, but I think in your case, you're doing it. You're trying it in a very different way. You mentioned like going to LIV events. We've talked a little bit about like PGA Tour versus LIV, and your mindset is like, hey, listen, I just want people playing golf.
Yeah, give me all the Saudi oil blood money. Like, I don't care. Like, just.
So why is that? What about, like, what gives you that? Why do you think that? Where are you coming from with that idea? Because some people, like I, for one, don't love LIV.
I mean, it's the same thing. If Trump invited me to Doral tomorrow and told me to bring 15 kids, I'm doing it. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter who it is. If Obama told me, hey, come to Farm Neck and bring some kids, then I'm going. You know what I mean? It's just like, why not? Like, because at the end of the day, I don't care. I don't mean necessarily, as long as I'm not breaking any laws. Like, please give me all the money you could possibly give me from anywhere.
Right.
Because I want, at the end of the day, I want my own facility. You know what I mean? I want my own sims and like little classrooms and things like that in a building one day, right?
Yeah.
I want my own golf course. I already created 9 holes for it. You know what I mean? Like, it's the best 9 holes ever, by the way. I already have a 9-hole golf course that I want to like put on the ground one day. Maybe 10, 20, 30 years from now. But like, yeah, like, I'll give me 150 acres in Oklahoma now. Or even, because it's hard to get. Can't get 150 acres out here.
No,
I don't know if I could ever get 150 acres land in Massachusetts, but
you'd need Trump and Obama to invite you out.
Yeah, maybe that'll like,
and that gets you halfway there.
And that'll because golf is very like it's probably like it's what all the politicians go to hang out after they're done arguing with each other. I feel.
Yeah.
So there's no it's very bipartisan in a lot of ways from the golf. And I would say any sport is bipartisan, right? But yeah, so everybody can connect through golf, and I think golf is the ultimate like thing to bring people together because everybody sucks at it, right?
Yes, that's what I tell my wife too. Is like, everyone, when we go to the golf course, don't worry about anyone else. Everyone sucks, even if they look like and they want to convince you they're good. If we're not playing on Thursday to Sunday or Friday to Sunday or whatever, we all suck. Yeah, that's it. It's there might be people listening who think that's a crazy way to think about it. Like, you just give me the money. I'll take it from wherever.
I'm gonna do good things with it, right? So
Yeah.
it's just like, because next, I want to be, I'm in Boston now, but once I kind of set a foundation in Boston and kind of have things running on its own, I want to go to Chicago and Detroit. You know what I mean? And keep it northern. You know what I mean? Because focus on the places that don't have year-round golf.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to expand eventually. So I can't be worried about where the money come from unless it's not legal.
So as far as like guys taking money to go play for LIV, are you okay with that too? You're kind of like, well, like the Patrick Reed, let's use as a guy who you met and
yeah. I mean, like I said, I went to a couple events, and it's fun. It's a fun time. It's a great time.
I've not been to one, so
yeah,
I can't.
Well, it's a great time. It's of course it's more like exhibition matches and stuff. It's more of like an exhibition and stuff like that. And it's the shot. I think the shotgun format that they do is great for fans.
Yeah,
I think the best thing you can do for fans, being able to watch all the golfers they want to at the same time.
Yeah, and like a 5-hour window versus all day.
Yeah, exactly. The format is dope. Whether golf is harder than basketball, like Scottie Scheffler, Bryson DeChambeau should be making more than LeBron James. Like they should.
Well, I mean, that's not just because the game is harder. That's just how many people have their eyeballs on a TV.
Well. The thing is, I guess, and the thing is about having a bunch of money is you're not worried about the eyeballs. Really, you could pay for eyeballs. That's what LIV is doing, pretty much. They're pretty much paying for eyeballs. Is pretty much what they're doing.
Yeah, they're not getting a lot of them.
But I don't know how much money they're making from all this, because their operation is very like legit.
As far as like the external, what you see when you go and the experience as a fan.
100%. Like everything's kind of top notch.
Yeah. Well, they're losing money, so that makes sense.
Exactly. So, and they're not. The thing is, they're not worried about it, and they are. Yes. People say it's like, the Saudis are kind of like buying up sports to improve like their image and things like that. And I'm like, can you blame them? Can you blame?
I mean, it's one way to do it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, whoever takes the money, I just want everybody to play golf together again. And the majors are great for that now.
Yeah.
Watching the majors are cool. Are even more cool because of that, right?
The majors have won big time in this whole thing. Those 4 tournaments.
But the PGA Tour is trying to keep up, with the TGL thing, which TGL is great. Actually, Boston Common Golf, they invited us to the Travelers Championship last year.
Okay, nice.
Last year they brought like 15 kids they like got a bus for us and brought 15-20 kids to Connecticut.
Yeah.
Which was TGL is great. But like I said, they're trying to do their own thing too. Like it's just TGL is no better or worse than LIV Golf in my opinion, in terms of like really trying to make golf more exciting, I guess, right? So so everybody's just trying different things, and golf did get boring for a while, and PGA Tour did have a monopoly on boring golf.
That's fair. Once Tiger kind of sputtered out, it did get it. They were missing a superstar.
100%.
Do the kids who you see and are part of urban golf, do they watch golf? Do they like consume it in any form, or I
asked them about the Masters. They watched a little bit of the Masters, the ones that are caddying and golfing more now.
Yeah.
So even when I first introduce kids, like the week after, let's say I do an introduction class, and then the week after I come back, they're like, "Oh, I was looking up this video and this video, blah blah blah." So, learning how to caddy and things like that I didn't even tell them to go watch.
Yeah.
They were just trying to do it on their own.
That's a good sign.
So so those are always encouraging to hear. And the kids love like Like I have a couple videos that like went viral.
I know.
Like last.
Yeah. Like millions of views.
Yeah, that's always cool for the kids. And you know, I've put a couple kids on like, you know, Channel 5 and Channel 4 and things like that, right?
Yeah.
So they see the potential in it, and they understand like how valuable it could be. So it's just a matter of them not screwing it up.
Yeah. No. Do the kids watch Good? Do they watch like any of that stuff?
No, not yet. No. They haven't. They don't do Good. They love Snappy Gilmore though. I have to like really stop kids. Like no, we're not gonna swing with one hand around your neck.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. They really get upset. But yes.
Those algorithms are tricky, right? Like you start looking up how to be a caddy, and suddenly you're watching Snappy Gilmore and
yeah,
maybe some break 50s.
When you show 11-year-old Snappy Gilmore, it's just like it's kind of chaos.
That's amazing. Well, you are doing your own little bit to grow the game, which I think most people appreciate. And
thank you.
And I want to get to our last little piece here, which is, as always, you've got 5 rounds of golf to play in this case, Massachusetts. I give people their home state.
Sure.
You can spread them out however you want. You can play one place 5 times. You could play 5 places once. You could mix it up however you want. But I always love to just hear from folks and what golf courses mean to them, or nostalgia-wise, or like bucket list stuff.
Yeah.
So
5 golf courses in Mass. Well, I already have the top 3 is Country Club, Boston Golf, and Ponky. And the other 2.
You play in Ponky course 1, course 2. I'll give you both if you want.
Okay, course 1. I'm not touching course 2. I do like the front end's nice. It's just it's just messed up.
Yeah.
I would like to play like Old Sandwich or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, I would like to play the Old Sandwich or something like that. And then the last one, I like that part of the. I mean, I never played Catanzit.
I like how you're doing this. Like, hey, if anyone out there might be listening,
I'm sure you have.
And listen, I'd love to play Catanzit.
I love to play Catanzit.
It's a cool place out there. It's pretty good. You can go play Little Marion after. They got a good little 9-holer down the road in public course. That's awesome.
I built a good relationship with places like Woods Hole and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I played Woods Hole a couple of times. I like the golf down there. I don't play much down there at all.
Yeah.
Like honestly, probably Boston Golf Club is just
as far south as you'd go.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Pine Hills, whatever. I played Pine Hills a couple times, both courses. But yeah, I think those 5.
All right,
sure.
Ponky number 1 in some rare air there with the Country Club, Boston Golf, Catanzit, and Old Sandwich, and Ponky, right where it belongs.
Exactly. Right, 100%. Amongst the best, exactly.
So tell us, like, people might be listening to this and thinking, I'd love to help out, Marcos. How can people help? You mentioned funding.
Yeah. There's a big, beautiful yellow button as soon as you get into my website that says donate. The website is, maybe you'll post it, theurbangolfclub.org.
Yep.
Even send me a message. Maybe put your email in there. There's a message section at the bottom of it, and give me your emails. Get you guys a part of the newsletter. Just kind of follow our progress. Follow me on Instagram, Urban Golf Club, and DM me your email, whatever you want to do to kind of reach out and stay, at least, whether you're giving money or not, stay in the loop of what's going on with our newsletter. I have no problem adding people onto that list.
We send it one that it's like every Sunday or every first Sunday of the month. Is that your cadence?
Sunday of the month, and then we have a quarterly one. Yep. But yeah, every penny counts. Everything goes back to the kids. Just had a good conversation, and Levy had a good conversation with a guy. Caddying is so cool. You meet so many cool people that want to help out, and that one of them invited me to their office the other day, and just gave me like maybe a good hour and a half of just like straight up, I've been on this many boards and this is how the things are done, and
yeah,
da 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 da. So I got a lot of good insight on how to kind of take my branding to the next level a lot of ways, my fundraising efforts to the next level. And we will have if you do get into that list, we do have a fundraiser coming up, and maybe last week of September, first week of October. We have a fundraiser coming up. It'll be at George Wright.
Okay.
We're working out the details on if we want to do like a little bit of a golf tournament. We're not going to be renting out the golf course by any means, but maybe get 6, 7, 8 tee times.
Yep.
And get some people out there to play, and then have a little reception afterwards. So that'll be the save the date will probably be in this month's newsletter.
Okay.
So we kind of like put a feeler out there in this last newsletter, and then the save the date will definitely be in this next one.
Great.
So yeah, so looking forward to that. So yeah, the website, of course, I'll be sending out updates on the fundraiser, which should be a big one. We're kind of trying to get a lot of people from city people, city councilors and things like that, the state representatives, and members from the country club, and potentially members from Boston Golf Club too, members from Franklin Park and things like that.
Yeah.
Kind of get the whole community involved and behind what we're doing.
Yeah. Grow the game, right?
Exactly.
Favorite hole at the country club and favorite hole at Boston Golf? Last question.
I love 14 at Boston Golf.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, I love 14 at Boston Golf. I don't know why.
It's just different, right? It kind of is like, it's a little different than the rest of the golf course. That second shot is different. The green site. Yeah.
So 14 and
so many at CCC.
I like that. I like the country club. I love, for some reason, it's not a part of it's not the main course, but I guess the 9th hole at Primrose. The 9th hole at the Primrose is just like, I think it's like a perfect hole.
I don't know which one the 9th is. Is it part of the?
Oh yeah, it's the 9th. It's literally the 9th hole of
the Open
the championship course.
That's got the pond off the tee. That's like downhill.
Yeah, downhill, and then has a big secondary downhill that feeds into the water.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's like a perfect hole. I really think it's a perfect hole. But no, the Himalayas is probably second up there. Everybody loves Himalayas.
Yeah, that's
everybody.
That's 11.
Yeah, 11 on the main course.
10 championship.
Yep. Just the one with the big cliff and things like that.
Yeah, it's a good one. I love 7. The par 3 there. That like green is wild. It's the set, like that little spot on the golf course you can see I love that hole. Yeah.
I've seen a hole in one tucked in the front left.
It's a little bowl there. It's hard to access though.
Front left pin who won the hole. It's crazy. I've seen it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Marcos. This was great. You gave me an hour of your time. I appreciate it. You said until boredom. I said that might take 10 minutes with me, and you managed to make it an hour with me. So appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Definitely I know you're a pretty good golfer, so let's definitely get out there and give me a couple strokes for sure.
Sure, that sounds good. We'll do that this summer. Absolutely. It'll be fun.
No problem.
All right.
All right, Sean.
All right, thanks.